It's today in EVE Online, February 18th, 2020. I am Matterall. We're here in a pretty busy morning. There is a fight breaking out just now. We'll see if we can get more information on that. And today we're going to talk about EVE North and some of the stuff that goes into making that. You can hear Ivy from, is it 6th? What is
I'm
it?
everywhere, let's be honest.
Okay. Yeah, you are. Who's with me today? She'll be talking about EVE North. First, I want to go over just some of the headlines. One is there has been huge developments in the northern conflict with Dead Coalition. Actually, let's take you there. This will take just a second. Looking at the coalition map, Dead Coalition here in purple is in the process of really fracturing in a big way. So you have Ranger Regiment, one of their biggest groups, one of their biggest alliances, is now moving essentially down to the Imperium. And that is and taking a few groups with them, a few alliances with them. So a lot of the Chinese elements of Dead Coalition going to the Imperium. That is a huge shift that happened. Started to happen last Friday, and over the weekend it's become more and more apparent. There was a message sent out by one of the FCs and leaders of Ranger Regiment, basically saying they were sorry about the way it had gone down, which was very unusual. And we'll find out more about that in just a minute. Other headlines, there has been iteration on some of the UI changes that happened last Tuesday. Probably the red dot got nerfed. The red dot rebellion worked. We'll look into that a bit.
I'm on top of the map, so if you guys want to know, like up here, there's a little bit of purple. There's a little bit of purple here. There's a little bit of purple down here.
Holy cow, I didn't see you on top of the map.
I'm like weather woman here. And right in the middle, there's this big gray spot.
Okay, hold on. Let me... Ah, yes. Dead Coalition. Yeah, let me move Ivy. Okay. That was funny. Looking at the wrong screen when I do this. We'll get you back in just a second.
That's
and
okay.
Other news. What is it? There's been some... it was kind of a startling announcement that the other IP for CCP, what is it called? Nova.
It's dead.
Yeah, well, it's dead, but not dead. It's dead in its present form and its present course. They still want to do a first-person shooter. It's just not going to be Nova. Nova couldn't deliver what CCP wants for its players. So it's no longer Nova. Now it's morphing into something else. We'll see what happens there.
They need to do like Nova meets like Eve meets Dust, and like the planet people and the spaceship people can shoot at each other, and it'll be great. That's my idea.
It works.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
It sounds like they're consolidating efforts. Instead of investing in a Nova game and an action MMO, the decision was made, instead of investing in two projects, let's combine it to one project. Yeah. So you're seeing the Nova team, some folks are coming to EVE Online. We saw CCP Ratati is one of those individuals, but we also see some of the Nova folks going to the action MMO project.
Okay, and we'll talk about that in just a minute. So those are basically the chief headlines. I don't think I left anyone off. So in the game, there's a big war that's happening. It's having consequences. Outside the game, development has been refined on the last patch, and you have some other development news. And then our big topic today is going to be EVE North and what's going on there. All right, so let's bring Ivy back since she's fun on camera.
Am I fun on camera?
Yes, there you are. All dolled up and everything. Me too.
I am. Look at you. You did your hair today too, and like you've got like the sweater vest thing going.
Yeah, absolutely. Cardigan. Mr. Rogers territory. All right.
It's not red. Come on.
So Arya's with us today too. Lichgrave jumped in, and you might hear Z Master. Hello, guys.
Hello.
All right. Well, first of all, let's talk about these changes that just came out just a second ago. These are what, refinements to the UI? Is that the only thing that's there?
That darn red dot.
Yeah, there was a red dot rebellion.
There was you mean
I still
today?
think they need to make
Yeah.
it so we can have it on or off with our choosing.
Is there a link to the patch notes or other patch notes?
Yes, the patch notes are in the link for last week's patch notes. So you have to look for the February 11th patch notes.
Oh,
and once
okay.
you open it, it'll have updates for today. And it's mostly UI changes. One of the notable things is the red dots. They removed it from salvaging and scoop drones. And also, when you get new items in your inventory, they will appear at the top. A lot of this looks like it's new player driven, so that when you get something in your inventory, you're not searching for it to figure out where that new item went.
Yeah, it's just a whole bunch of UI changes.
All right. We're just fumbling through those, so we'll try to figure out if there's anything interesting there besides that. But the red dot is going to get nerfed. It's obviously ticked off some people. And for those that don't know,
I get a kick at the fact that in the features and updates that they've added, they're like, the ability to clear new inventory badges without mouse over is Control A or Select All. Like, you had to patch note that into a patch note to tell people how to use the Select All function. Removed inventory badging from salvaging. Removed inventory badges for scoop drones. Added tooltip when unallocated SP is injected. Like,
Oh, this is nice actually. New items added to the inventory are now added at the top instead of the bottom. That's really nice.
yeah,
I guess.
there's use cases for that, right? Like I've heard somebody was complaining about use cases that broke, so maybe that either fixes it or just complicates it in a different way. But it's automatic sorting. Now, what was it before? Anyone know?
It just goes into your inventory and goes to the bottom, and then you just scroll down. It was there, or it would randomly go wherever the heck you felt like going. Which
No,
at the end of the day,
automated sorting is because you can, if you right click your inventory, you can sort it by name, by type, by quantity and stuff. And if you do automated sorting, it will basically just do automated sorting. It will sort it by what you selected.
I'm a A to Z type of person. It has to go in order.
But what
Yeah,
was
I do
it?
in type because the market orders are also in type as well. So my stash is in type.
Never underestimate human stupidity. I freaking love that comment.
You're very welcome.
But what was it before? What was the default before?
Whatever
The
we had it set
default,
as.
yeah, the default, I think it has always been type, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, it's type. Yeah,
Oh, okay.
because it would go blueprints, and then it would
Mhm.
go ammunition, then it would go
Blueprint,
everything.
ammos, and charges in general, and then armor modules like resistances and then the rest, shields and armor reps.
All right. Well, I was under the impression there was some massive upheaval there. Well, in any case, that has now been fixed to be a little smarter. New items at the top. That's better for new players, which is what they really want. And I hope it doesn't obstruct older players. Is there anything else in there? I guess they're, again, nerfing the red dot a little bit.
I'd say they're making adjustments. On the Sunday show, Rise mentioned that it might be a little too aggressive. And that's part of what our job is, I guess, as veteran players, the voice where it might be a little too oppressive so that CSP can adjust. Because new players are not going to give that feedback. It's really the more veteran players that are going to be vocal with that sort of feedback.
Yeah, you mentioned that earlier. That was an interesting point. So Hot Leads here says you could always sort, even in tile mode. Right click on an open spot, and you could set it to sort.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, or stack all.
The stack all, my favorite feature. I was so mad when it was broken for like a week. I was getting so frustrated because I was moving cap parts, and I need everything to like stack nicely, and then it was like all over the place, and it was chaos, and I was like, ah.
Yeah, when you put so much different items into a container, essentially container or session warehouse, and you need to stack all twice because you stack all once and it stacks everything, but it has like blank spots everywhere, and then you need to stack all the second time for it to actually sort it out properly.
Agreed.
This is an interesting one. Fixed an issue where multi-fitting that could cause ghost items to appear. Ghost items, actually, there's just been a general ghost item issue. At least I've noticed for the past couple.
What's
Like they've got
a
a
ghost
bit of
item?
A ghost item, basically, like when you move an item. Say you have like a ship in your say you have ammo in your item hold and you move it to your ship's hold. The item still appears in the item hanger, right?
Mm.
So it's just like now there's two, but one doesn't work.
Ivy, you have any ghosts in your hangar?
No.
Any skeletons?
I've had a lot
Maybe
of
a few
ghosts show up.
Maybe I have a few corpses, and by few I mean maybe thousands, because people know that sending me corpses in contracts makes me very happy.
Is that right? Do you collect corpses?
I do. I love it. I have this goal in game for when CCP finally lets it happen that I'm going to get a Moloch, because that's probably my goal. But what I want to do is I want to stuff the thing full of corpses and then intentionally go somewhere and get it whelped and then be like a corpse pinata. But that should be corpses all over the place, not just in a kill mail. Like, that would make me sad. I need them to explode all over the grid.
It does have a special corpse hanger, doesn't it? Yeah.
To be honest, I'm saving corpses, hoping that one day CCP will allow us to salvage corpses, and so we can extract whatever implants they add on. I'm hoping that will happen one day. In 10 years or something.
Well, Blood Raiders are this group that basically are vampires, or they suck the blood out of people they capture. That's why they have a corpse bay, so they can pile in the bodies after they use them up. And their ships, they all look like sort of camouflage because they're painted with blood splatters all over them, apparently. So when the capital ships came out, which are the sides of capital ships the size of Manhattan, they're gigantic. And they're all decorated with blood splatter. I think it was Fozzie. It was like, yeah, that's a whole lot of blood.
They're so pretty.
It's like a river. Anyway, so those are the Blood Raiders. Watch out for them. They're actually featured in the novel for EVE Online, the first one called The Imperium Age. And they're in the very first scene there. It's very dramatic. Pretty scary creatures, or humans. Cultists, I guess. They're cultists. Okay, so there's a fight going on right now in the tech line. I believe Test is attacking Darkness or whoever's there. Those are all members of Dead Coalition. We'll get back to that if we get some information. Real quick, we'll just give you an update that I guess it was a couple days ago. I thought this was really interesting when we talked about it on Sunday as well, that an FC named Blazing Bunny in Discord, the Talking in Stations Discord, said that he put out a diplomatic message from Goonswarm or the Imperium, basically saying that these 5 alliances were coming south and they were going to be blued. And the next person to write was Sort Dragon saying, really? That's news to me, essentially. I'm paraphrasing.
And then it happened.
Yeah. And then we had people on the Imperium side saying, I don't see any changes, but who knows? And then eventually, it came to be true that some substantial alliances from the Dead Coalition are moving down to the Imperium Coalition. Big news happening there, all live on TIS. It was kind of funny to watch. What do you know about that, Arya?
So, right. 3 of the alliances inside the Deadco have joined the Imperium: Ranger Regiment, Iron Crown, and Dracarys. So they announced that, and they're moving their large stuff down south, and they said they're going to stay up north and fight.
Well, we knew that Iron Crown was possibly moving. The surprise was really Ranger Regiment and Dracarys. Would you agree?
I think the timing is a little bit of a surprise because there's still fighting going on, but I'm not sure if it's a surprise at the end of the day. A lot of the alliances and coalitions have teamed up against Deadco. There really isn't anyone else for those groups to join if Deadco falls completely.
But if you also look at it from like a strategic standpoint, like the fact that they moved over during the middle of a war, is that really surprising? Because now they have all of their stuff already staged in an area they're now attacking. This to me sounds very premeditated.
The numbers are overwhelming, though. This is a War B type of scenario or casino war where you have several groups that have united together in overwhelming odds against the defenders. And I think the defenders are realizing that they can't beat these numbers. When you have a 70,000 plus member alliances joined together against a coalition that's 17, that's just too large of a number to ignore.
I feel bad for poor Sort.
So another thing that's happened is Fraternity. Well, what would you say Fraternity's reaction to all this is? There is a State of the Alliance that was just released by Naros that has just been translated fully by our team at Talking in Stations. Thanks, guys. And I will read it as soon as I can find it, the correct version. But Arya, what's your opinion of Fraternity's view on this?
I think Fraternity is announcing op success. They joined the war to focus on Ranger Regiment to knock them out of their space, and they're successful. I do want to thank the folks at TIS who have translated it, and I believe the Norris actually had the final review of the FRT Soda translation. So thanks to him for that as well.
Yeah, he cooperated, which is really great. Make sure we get everything right.
Mm-hmm.
I really like that because for players who are not fluent in Chinese, it's really hard to understand the motivations and the politics within these groups. So seeing these translated sodas and messaging really helps us participate in understanding what is it about these two groups? What are they saying? What's their relation like?
And it's really simple for somebody to like copy and paste it into like Google Translate and try to get the general idea of what's going on. But having these people who are translating properly, definitely, I think it's an asset at the end of the day.
Yeah, we're going to circle back and give this more attention. Maybe get Killer B on here to do some interpretation and some updating. We'll also dive into Noros's, and we may do all this, but we'll probably do it tomorrow. So I can get to what I want to get to, which is Eve North, and that's why Ivy is here today and why she's featured prominently on your video.
Well, I just thought because I had pretty face, like, let's be honest.
Well, there's that too. But actually, let's find out about you first so that we know who we're dealing with here. Like, when did you start and what drew you to EVE Online to begin with?
You want my backstory?
Yeah.
Man, like that's a long story. We'll do a TLDR. I started back in 2014, 2015. And I didn't play my own account at the time. I was playing my ex-husband's. And I only really logged on so that I could get on TeamSpeak and harass his corp because it was fun. And
so wait a minute, you got the account in the divorce?
No.
Did you just take it? Oh, okay, it's different.
I don't want it.
He can be his own character.
My account is so much better, so he can have his shoo. Anyways, so his CEO messaged me the one day, and he was like, "Look, I want to talk to you." I'm like, "Okay, what do you want?" So his CEO at the time was Captain Luke Lone Star, who rest in peace, bud. He was one of my favorite people, and he honestly got me into this game. And he goes to me, "So we need to like go to war with these other people, and do you want to go make your own account and make a character and go join their corp and then give us all of it?" So I started Eve as a spy, made some pretty dank isk at, here's your bookmarks, here's this, here's what they're planning.
Check you out.
But then,
deep end right away.
I was nefarious right off the hop. But my problem is I like people. I like talking to people. And when I start talking to people, then they're like space friends. So then I didn't want to screw over my space friends. So I biomassed the tune and made a new tune and went back to the original corp that, was trying to get me to do dirty deeds, which I did for a bit. But that was the long and the short of how basically I got into Eve. And then I ended up in Iceland in 2017, which that for me really cemented the community component of EVE, which again, I love people. I love talking to people. I love hearing stories. I got yelled at by Jim from the Sixth Empire, and he scared the holy bejesus out of me because I'm like, hey, look, there's a space pope. I want to go talk to him. So I went up the stairs and was heading directly towards Charles. And Jim comes out of nowhere in like his monk robes and everything, and started screaming at me. And I'm like, holy shit, what the hell is going on here? And then I was hooked on the whole roleplay component part of it. So then I ended up running around the HARPA that year, and they had that whole like missing medical reports and role play
Oh
component.
yeah, that was a big deal.
So I got big into that again, which is why I do fly with Six Empire. It's one of the many peoples I run with. I'm not going to tell you where my main is because I like doing what I like doing in game. And
Are you still spying?
no.
Okay.
I have friends. I
All
don't.
right.
I don't backstab people I like, and I unfortunately like everybody. So people are like, "Oh, don't you fly with Six Empire? Like, give us some details on them." And I'm like,
So you were
okay, but no.
So you were at the Fan Fest where they did a lot of the role playing. That's like what, 2 years ago?
Yeah,
Yeah.
2017. Yeah.
Were you?
It was great.
Did you participate or just get yelled at by a monk?
I got yelled at by a monk, and then I ran around and I may have stolen the missing medical reports. I might have. I'm yeah. Let me
Do you
I don't know
have
if I got
them?
my bag up here. I might.
Oh, check that out. All right, don't get yourself banned for theft.
So I don't know what you're talking about. There's no missing medical reports, none at all.
Right.
Like Pandora would never do that.
All the people that would be interested have died off already anyway in that contaminated scenario. So we can, if you don't know what we're talking about, 2 years ago they did a really interesting thing it's very metaphysical if you think about it. They had an event that was in game in a certain location in Solitude region, but in reality, that Keepstar served as the stage in Reykjavik in real life, where FanFest was taking place. And so they had this in the game and out of the game combining in Solitude and Iceland. More. And so Ivy's showing us these, I don't know what you would call those, scientific reports.
They're the missing medical reports.
Missing medical reports. Now they're definitely
the cat's
missing.
out of the bag, CCP. Sorry, not sorry. It was fun. I'm trying to see what else I commandeered.
Pretty cool. So in real life in Iceland during FanFest, again, 2 years ago, they had a role play incident where parts of the LARPA, the building where the FanFest is held, had people actually role playing and acting out and improvising this contamination that was happening to the station, which is very eerie if you think about what's happening now in China and the global pandemic. I guess it is now. It's on the verge of becoming a pandemic. So,
and like they were also handing out these cards too, in order to get like bonus points and stuff like that. So I had this one, laugh in a disturbing way. So you'd have to like randomly go up to somebody and be like blah, and you hoping you were going to get tokens in that. But the card that I loved the best, considering what I had in my bag, was you had to go around and tell people that there was missing medical reports. I'm like, oh my God, did you hear there's missing medical reports? And they're like, really? I'm like, yeah, I think there is. They're like, no, there's no missing medical reports.
That's a fiction.
Until I had fun with the roleplay event. I really did.
Yeah,
They're still missing. They're mine.
Was that your first FanFest?
It was, yeah. I almost didn't go. I had a really bad again, I say ex-husband. I was separated from my husband, and I had been, talking with more people, and one thing led to another, and I thought I got catfished at the end of the day. I got catfished. I'll just say it out loud. And
from a player
from an EVE player, yeah.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Can you tell us what catfishing is so people know?
So it's when people lead you on and say one thing while their whole plan at the end of the day is to see how much harm and pain and suffering they can cause you, and all that fun jazz.
Is it just about money, or is it just about pain?
I think it's just people's sick, perverse pleasure at seeing how vulnerable and how much information they can get out of somebody and then use it against you.
Yikes.
Which is part of the reason why I'm going to put a throw out here to Sort Dragon. I absolutely love the guy. He caught wind of what had been happening, and like I was ready to quit, and I wasn't doing Eve anymore because of the amount of I don't say pain, because it was heartbreaking to find out what had happened at the end of the day. And Sort stepped in, and then Buddy was like, well, I'm going to release our conversations and everybody's going to know stuff about you. And I'm like, so basically you're blackmailing me? And then Sort got involved, and suddenly everything stopped. It was great. And I'm like, I don't want to go to FanFest. I just want to like stay home and curl up in a ball and hide under a rock. And he's like, no, go to FanFest. You're going to have a blast. And I'm really glad I listened to him, because I did have a blast. I met CCP Guard. I pitched Eve North. Got really good relationships with some of the CCP staff members. Like, I love Falcon to death. I'm really sad that he left. And like, it was the Eve community after the fact. Like, I was like, I'm going to every event after this. Like, I'm going to as many as I can. And then I was getting ready to go to FanFest in 2018. And about 6 weeks before FanFest was supposed to happen, I got mauled by a pit bull
Oh my
and
God.
sustained 12 bites and over 105 stitches. And it was the Eve community who, like my space friends, they reached out to me and were like, hey, how are you doing? Like, they checked in on me daily. Like, Falcon was like, what do you need from me? Do you need your ticket refunded? Do you need help with your airfare being refunded? Do you need help with your hotel? Like, he was willing to go the mile for me. And I'm like, no, it's fine. Like, I got insurance and all that, so everything's already covered. But the fact that, like, we've got people in our everyday lives. Like, I've got my neighbors in that. Did they check in on me? No. It was my people on the computer and my Eve family who just kept checking in on me and making sure I was okay and making sure things went right. I even had one of the Eve people like, do you need me to drive to your house and pick you up and bring you to your doctor's appointment because I know you can't drive right now? Like, our community is freaking awesome. Like, I don't know what else to say. So with that behind me, this is why I do what I do, because you guys were there for me when I went through some, like, you helped me through my divorce. You helped me through somebody being a complete and utter tar to me. You helped me after I got mauled by a dog. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know how else more I can thank you guys other than holding these events and giving you one hell of a party. Like, I can't even measure up to what you've done for me.
Okay, so how are you giving back to the community then? Talk about Eve North and tell us what it is and what made you do it, because I know you sacrifice a lot to do it.
So Eve North, as you're aware, is one of the community player meetups. We were originally a monthly meetup. So what I noticed when I started going out to the Toronto monthly meetups is, while they were fantastic, like we were getting a few people come out, it just felt like there needed to be more hype and promotion and this. And I'm really good at just getting people together. So I went to the organizer at the time, who was Tim, and I said, look, do you need help organizing the events? And he's like, yeah. So I stepped in and just started advertising and finding new venue locations, finding new restaurants for us to meet at, finding, trying to mix it up, because we were going to the same restaurant every single month. And it just got to the point where people were like, hey, this is boring and the food's expensive. So I'm like, well, I'm cheap. I'm not going to lie. Let's see where I would want to go eat. That's still, the food is good, but it's not going to cost you an arm and a leg. So we started moving around locations, and then eventually we stumbled upon Stormcrow Manor in Toronto. The food is good. It's decently priced, but it's geek themed. Like, there's a Cthulhu room, and there's a Nautilus room, and then there's like the bar from what the hell is it called?
Wait, tell me.
The Shining, the bar from The Shining. Like, they have the entire bar from The Shining, and they call it the Black Lodge. So that's typically where we.
Was that the Pacific Northwest where that was filmed, or was that in Canada?
I'm not sure, to be honest.
East.
I'm really not.
Okay, I thought it might be. Say that name again. I call it Cthulhu, but you call it what?
Cthulhu? Don't make fun of me.
No, I think I say it wrong, which is why I'm asking. But anyway, it's that whole PH
But
Lovecraft stuff.
and then even like we found out after the fact that one of the owners he's a goon. So there's like a big spaceship poster in the restaurant. We're like, oh my god, there's an avatar. Like all different, like the Enterprise is on their Millennium Falcon, but we're like, there's an avatar. So that was neat to see at the time. And like this bar it's so different. Like there's you get seated in a spot and they're like, yeah, go walk around. Like there's a steampunk room. We love it, right?
Yeah. Good stuff.
So from there, like I said, I had pitched Toronto in 2017. And then for 2018 at Vegas, I got an email from Tim, who had gotten an email from CCP Guard. And so it kind of got forwarded along to me. And long story short, Guard says to me, so when you're in Vegas, come find me. And I'm like, okay.
Come find me, Goopy.
I'm like, oh, I love Guard. Permaband.
Yeah, he's a favorite.
We're not gonna go on to Permaband because I'm just gonna melt because they're my favorite. And so we get to Vegas and I'm there a couple days early because now I'm like, Guard wants to see me. Why does Guard want to see me? I need to go in early. What is going on here? So he tells me before Vegas officially starts, hey, we're thinking about doing this world tour idea. We want Toronto to be on the stop. Are you game for helping? And I'm like, yes. You can't tell anybody all weekend. And I'm
yikes. Hold that secret.
It would killed me all weekend because I'm on cloud freaking 9 and people are like, wow, you're really enjoying your Vegas. I'm like, yeah, it's great. And meanwhile, I'm like in my head, I'm already starting checklists. I'm like, okay, I gotta find a venue, I gotta find hotels, I gotta find this, I gotta find that, and like my list is getting bigger and bigger and bigger. I think by the end of Vegas, I had already thrown back to CCP my pitch of what I wanted because we were gonna be a 1-day event. We turned into a 3-day event because I know how to party. And that's so after Eve North happened on the world tour 2019 in June, CCP said to me, so would you be interested in doing this yourself next year? And I'm like, the players love it. If I can throw another huge party like this, even if it's only 2 days or 1 day, I'm gonna do it. So Eve North 2020 this year, it is 100% player run. I have asked CCP if they're willing to send devs over. They sound positive, so I'm hoping I get devs. But again, you're going to get the same thing from last year. You're going to get panels. You're going to get roundtables. We're going to do player run, how to PvP, or my favorite is I want to do a workshop on, it'll be half an hour, how to host a meetup, how to get people who want to do like Tampa and Boston. Come to my Eve North. I will discuss on what I've done. I will give you my knowledge. I will give you what I've learned over the last 2 years.
So
what
are the dates on this so people can plan ahead?
So if you can throw a link up, I have my Eventbrite there. I will send it to you if you need it.
Yes, I need it.
I'm going to put it in the voice channel here on Discord. But it's June 26th to the 28th.
So summertime.
And we're doing Niagara Falls this year instead of Toronto. I wanted to do a little bit of a mix-up because while Toronto is great, everything is so far away from any central location. And you go to Toronto, you do the CN Tower, you do the ROM, you do Casa Loma, and you've seen Toronto. Mind you, there's 500 bars and there's clubs, which is great. But I also wanted to have things that were family friendly so that those people who don't want to drink and who want to bring their spouses or who want to bring their kids. And I started looking into hotel rates during Eve North last year, and I noticed that Niagara, while it's a tourist attraction, it was significantly cheaper than what was going on in Toronto. So that for me was like, again, I told you I'm cheap. I'm like, let's look into this some more.
And they're about 50 minutes away from each other, right?
Exactly. Yeah. And the nice thing too is yes, you can fly into Pearson. There is a shuttle bus that runs from between Pearson to Niagara Falls. If you fly into Buffalo, there is a shuttle bus from Buffalo to Niagara Falls. And then once you hit the falls, there's so much to do in such a tight vicinity that when we went down in January to do some, last minute, are we going to Toronto? Are we going to do Niagara? Which one are we going to do? We rented an Airbnb. We didn't stay at the hotel. And we were literally 5 minutes from everything, just at the Airbnb. it was 5 minutes from the hotel. It was 5 minutes from Clifton Hill. So that for me, I'm like, look, like how much better can it get? All of the bars are right here. All of the fun is right here. You walk 10 minutes that way, you've got more fun. You walk 10 minutes that way, you've got like, there's just so much to do.
It's like a miniature and clean Las Vegas, right?
Yeah.
It's
And there's
actually,
a casino right there also.
yeah.
Like they have Falls View Casino, which is a really good casino. Like I'm not gonna lie that I've been there once or twice, but
those
stuff
that
to
don't
do.
know, Niagara Falls is like a natural wonder, but the Canadian side is super built up. It literally has high rises and looks like a small, tiny little condensed Las Vegas. On the American side, there's nothing. It's just a little town or something. But it's the Canadian side that's really built up.
And that's true. And so that for me was, so once I got a quote from Toronto hotels, I got a quote from Niagara hotels, and it was almost $120 cheaper a night for the Niagara hotels. And then the quote alone, like I had to sign my life away for player run event. I signed a rather large contract that yup, that's
You're a
not a number
gambler.
I want to talk about. Yeah.
You're a
But
gambler.
again, the price difference between the two options was astronomical, and I want players to not have to break their bank to come. I want them to have a good time, and shenanigans. Like you need to have shenanigans. That's my favorite word. So again, come out. We're gonna have player run panels. We're gonna hopefully get some devs, and I've got 2 days, 3, maybe 4 of fun. I'm looking into wine tours.
Yeah.
I've reached out to Clifton Hill itself because Clifton Hill is like there's arcades, there's bowling, there's mini golf. There's mini golf. I freaking love mini golf. And
Yeah.
anybody who says that they don't like mini golf is lying because it's ridiculously fun.
Well,
Especially when you get a bunch of your space nerds and you're drinking.
Let's go back to, speaking of drinking, the wine tours. They have a neat little wine country right around the area, and they have ice wine, which is pretty rare.
Yeah, and they'll pick you up at the hotel and they'll bring you to your tour, which is the other win-win right there.
Yeah. So ice wine is like very sweet, almost
It's
like
so
a
good.
champagne wine. It's almost
No, it's champagne I find is very tart. Ice wine is it's sweet. Like if you
I'm
don't like
sorry.
sweet,
Doesn't it have bubbles, or am I mistaken?
it's well, kind of. It's like a. I only drink ice wine. I won't drink any other wine because wine's gross. But ice wine's a different story because it's yummy. But you get that wine kind of aftertaste, but it's again, and the bottles are like you get like a bottle like this, but it's like for the same price as like a full bottle of wine because it's ridiculously hard to make.
It's hard to make because they basically have to pick the grape as it's like a baby grape, right? When it's, you might know this better than me. I only went.
No, I'm not a wino.
I'm not either, but I just did a tour there when I was living in Toronto, and they have to like basically go out in the middle of the night in the middle of winter to pick these things. That's when they harvest. So it's very difficult to make this wine, but it's really tasty. So, and also you're in a little bit of a wine country there just outside. So that's a neat little side trip.
Yeah, Niagara on the Lake, and it's again 20 minutes. You jump in an Uber and away you go. Like I said, we're looking into wine tours. We're obviously doing the Friday night pub crawl because it was such a hit for Eve North last year. I'm working on getting Clifton Hill passes for people who want to buy them. Obviously, I'm getting us a discounted rate so that, go have fun on Clifton Hill because it's fun. And they also have a Mario Kart track for like go-karts. And the thing, it's Mario Kart. I don't know what else I can say about it, but it's freaking hilarious. I did it last year. It was me and some Sixth Empire peoples and then Streamfleet. Raiden, I will get you back because he kept cutting me off and wouldn't let me pass him. So there's so much to do within. For ice wine, they let the grapes sit on the vine instead of harvesting, and then they have only so many days of freezing temps before they can harvest. Thank you, Celebrand. He got us an answer.
Yeah, I like the way you deferred to him. That was so pro.
I'm watching the.
You're really good at this.
Well, I'll have to come on more, and then I'll shamelessly promote Eve North the entire time. Thank you. But I don't know what else more to say, guys. Like, I gave you a party in 2019. I'm gonna give you a party again this year. We have our own set of staff. I've got Nolan, who does my IT. I've got Apo, who he's kind of like my vice president, CEO person. He does all of the things that I don't want to do. I'm like, Apo, go do that. And he does. I've got Reload, who everybody's familiar with, who's doing my streaming. I've got Low High Res, who's my registration. He had registration running so smoothly last year. I'm like, yeah, you're doing that again for me.
Wow.
And there's so many more people that are coming back, and even my volunteers from last year. Like I pinged them. I'm like, hey guys, you were my volunteers last year, and they're like, we're game. Like I know our core team of staff and volunteers is going to just make things run beautifully. I have no concerns. I just need you guys to show up.
Well, so that's pretty amazing if you have the crew coming back, like they didn't burn out the first time saying, what a cluster. So you must have done something right last year.
Well, I'd like to think so. I very much like to think that I do listen to my team, and when my team says, hey, I need a break, or I'm hungry, or
feed me,
this is happening, how do I fix it, I'd be like, give me 2 minutes, and we'd have something fixed. Like it wasn't this tearing your hair out ordeal. It was just, we worked so well together. It was great.
That's awesome. Let's review though. Oh, go ahead.
I should say, I'm forgetting it too. Saturday night. It's not Lee's Palace. I have rented out the Hard Rock Cafe in Niagara Falls. It is ours for the Saturday night. There's going to be drink tickets, partial open bar, and then after a certain hour, it turns into a cash bar. So, Hard Rock Cafe, people. Rock Cafe.
That's right. They have a Hard Rock Cafe hotel there with some memorabilia there and there are a couple casinos I read there from, I think Nolan said that.
Yeah, Falls View's the big one down there.
Yeah. And plus you have, if you're not into casinos or even drinking, you have nice countryside there. And you also have Niagara Falls. So you can, there's like the Maiden of the Falls or something, some kind of.
So on the American side, it's called Maid of the Mist, which us Canadians for forever have always referred to it as the Maid of the Mist. It's now called Hornblowers, which if you are a true and true Canadian, you're like, yeah, I'm going to go Maid of the Mist. You're like, it's not that called that anymore. It's like Maid of the Mist. So that being said, also, I have reached out to Hornblowers or Maid of the Mist to get people discounted tickets, because if you're in Niagara Falls, it's one of the things he got to do. And Nolan, great point. The view from our hotel, oh my God, I don't know if I have a good picture. I'm going to put it on.
But this is, I mean, you have to keep in mind, there's only one area in the world that has as much volume of water falling.
It's Niagara Falls.
Yeah. Niagara Falls, and then there's a place like in Argentina and Brazil. So Iguazu, it's called. But Niagara Falls is like, you'll never see this kind of nature and as much luxury. If you're at a hotel and you have air conditioning in the summer, would be nice.
I'm trying to find you the view. We went down, and unfortunately, the day that we went down, there was a massive snowstorm. So the picture I got is foggy, unfortunately. I'm putting it in the voice channel for you guys. I don't know how you would relay it over here.
That's the view from the hotel?
That's the view from the hotel. Like, on a clear summer day, that view is going to be phenomenal.
Yeah, I'll see if I can get it on screen. Anyway, you guys can look it up. Niagara Falls, look it up on...
Marriott on the Falls. That's the hotel that we booked out. We've got a block, discounted rate rooms. Like, it's prime summertime for them. So the rates do go up. But again, we've got cheaper prices for our people.
Yeah, I can't put this up because it's landscaped or something. I'd have to Photoshop and work it.
Damn it.
It's okay. If you look at Niagara Falls, what was the hotel again? You just said it?
Marriott on the Falls. It's not there's two. There's the Marriott, and then there's the Marriott on the Falls, which they're right across the street from each other. I don't understand why they did that, but it's Niagara Falls. Who knows?
Yeah, it's wild. All right, this sounds cool. And it's not just one day. That's amazing that you put more than one day into this.
Well, I want to do Friday as like the registration day. I'm going to do the pub crawl around 7:30 at night. Speaking of pub crawl, for those who have already bought your Eve North tickets, the pub crawl tickets are going to go on sale at about noon today, and then sales stop at noon on the registration day of Eve North, because I don't want to have people buying at like 6 o'clock and then trying to find their tickets and all that, because that's not fair to me or my registration peoples. Sorry. But again, pub crawl on the Friday. So registration and then pub crawl, get people in, get them settled, get them. You guys are going to do your alliance dinners. I already know this. So, go eat and then we're going to go drink. And then for those that don't want to drink, I'm trying to plan something for Clifton Hill. So you can either pub crawl or you can Clifton Hill. And then on the Saturday, we're going to do like an opening mini ceremonies. It's basically probably just going to be me thanking you guys because I am really grateful that you guys are even considering coming. Like my early birds are already 3/4 sold out. I'm not giving you numbers on how many I have, but it's a big number and it's already 3/4 sold out. Like, wow is all I can say. Like every time my ticket sales keep going up because I get notifications on my team leader Discord. I'm like, another one is sold, or we've got 10 more sold, or we've got it's holy crap is all I can say. I'm so excited about it.
Where are people coming from? Do you know already? And
I don't know. Like I can't see where they're physically living. But I've got people from Goons who've registered. I've got Pandemic Horde. I've got Sixth Empire peoples. I've got Corps I never knew existed. Like it's everywhere. People are coming
one of the
from.
advantages of your area, which is why I live there, is it's a east meets west kind of place. At least in the film industry, most of the film industry for a long time was in Los Angeles and mostly California. It's spread out a bit since then. And so when they had a film festival, there was also the Europeans, right? And so the Europeans would want to sell movies to distributors in the United States. Instead of flying all the way to Los Angeles, they decided to make a film festival in Toronto. And that's
the TIFF.
Yeah, it's one of the biggest international film festivals, and it's well known for European films and American films being marketed to each other. And that's where they do it in Toronto because it's a great place to meet. It's halfway between both. So if you're from Europe, and you don't want to go all the way to Las Vegas because that's a gigantic flight or it's too taxing or whatever, this is a much better alternative because you can be, it's a smaller flight, plus it's probably less money, and it's probably, a little more interesting because it's Canada, not, well, I don't know how, but anyway, Canada to me is beautiful country. Like it's, the people
we have mooses
are
and
nice.
maple syrup. What more do you want?
I think the people are amazing in Canada. Like I never had a bad day in Canada. Like everybody's
we're so polite.
civilized.
We'll even hold the door open for you.
Well, you guys are civilized. I know. You know what's this funny comic where somebody opens the door and says, I think the person's like 5 feet behind them. They open the door and it's like, oh, that's just okay. And then somebody's like 20 feet behind them and they open the door and hold it for a few seconds. It's like, this is kind of polite. And then you have a third one where the person's even further. And then you have the Canadian version, which is when somebody's like half a mile away and they hold the door for them because they're that nice.
There was something I read. I can't remember where it was from, but same idea, holding a door. So this guy's holding a door and people are going in and out of the restaurant shop. And one guy comes by, and I think the guy said he was in California or something. And some guy passes by him and he's like, what are you, Canadian or something? And Buddy's like, yeah, actually I'm from Toronto. And then the chick who was coming in behind him was like, oh my God, I'm from Sudbury. And I guess the two of these people then like spent an hour talking because they were like Canadian and nice holding doors.
I went to, I guess my wife will kill me for saying this, but I went to Cuba in my young life. And I wasn't supposed to be there because the United States won't allow you to go to Cuba. We're supposed to be free and everything, but we can't. You can't spend money there and you can't do business with the enemy, something like that. That's how they get around it. But basically, Americans say you cannot go to Cuba. But I went anyway. And this is in the middle of like when it was being cracked down on. So it was a big deal to be there. And it was very, I think people were actually being prosecuted to the tune of $7,000 to $200,000 in fines if you were caught in Cuba from the United States. But again, I went anyway, and as I was there, I was like, okay, no paper trail. This is why I'll get killed for talking about it publicly. No paper trail, no souvenirs, nothing. Don't bring any trace of Cuba back to the United States, and don't even send emails or do any communication while you're there. And so we were kind of in this paranoid state.
Of dead zone?
Yeah. And so, we were there for 2 weeks, and you can't withdraw money, so you have to travel with all your cash. Super dangerous. And so we're sitting there at this hotel, and this couple sits in front of us and says hello, and we say hello, and they're like, where are you from? And we're like, we're from Toronto. And they're like, oh, we're from some suburb of Toronto. And we're like, we didn't recognize it because we weren't, from Toronto. We're like, oh, that's interesting. like we had no recognition that we're supposed to be neighbors. So our lie was completely exposed quickly, and they just we scurried off because clearly we were very shady people. But I remember that. I always think back to that couple that were like from Canada saying, "Hey, we have no problems here in Cuba. We're allowed to travel here. Like they're as relaxed as could be." And here we are trying to hide ourselves in shadows.
You're like cold sweat and everything. We're from Toronto too, and you're like, oh crap.
Yeah, trying to pass as Canadians. Oh, it's hilarious.
You should have just talked about your mousse and your maple syrup and your igloo and our multicolored money, and you would have been fine.
Yeah, you still have the Queen on it. I guess you guys are still a Commonwealth or something.
There was a thing going around on Canadian, like only in Toronto or something, and it's like after the whole Meghan Markle and Prince Harry thing, and it's like when you live in Canada and you take money out of your wallet and you can still see your grandmother mad at you.
By the way, they're called loonies, aren't they? The ones, the $1.
Our loonies and toonies.
Loonies and
$1 and
toonies. Yeah, that's hilarious.
So, and then you got to have your Tim Hortons. Like it's important. It's a staple.
Tim Hortons is like your version of, I wouldn't call it Starbucks, but it's kind of similar.
No.
It's kind of similar.
Dunkin' Donuts, maybe?
Yeah, it's like your Dunkin' Donuts.
Coffee is good.
Yeah. And they also sell one of the best things on earth, poutine.
Poutine. Oh, man. You guys can try and make a good poutine, but you don't know our secret recipe, and it which won't be the same.
Yeah, poutine is French fries with gravy and cheese, and it's
got to be a beef gravy. If it's not a beef gravy, it's not a true poutine. Mm-mm.
Oh, interesting. Yeah.
LB, Tim Hortons is not trash. Thank you. We're not going to be friends right now.
Yeah. Well, it is kind of a road stop place, but I really was fond of it. I think it's because it's everywhere.
Yeah.
And it's always got good stuff when you're traveling. So, yeah. Well, okay. So it's going to be more than one day, and it's going to be.
So like I said,
Niagara Falls.
Friday,
wow.
Friday is the registration. Let people eat, and then either go drink or go have some fun on Clifton Hill. Saturday is going to be our version of opening ceremonies. We have put out a call for player panelists. So if you do want to talk, shoot me an email, ivy@evenorth.ca, and pitch your idea of what you want to do, and we will get back to people. Those people who are panelists obviously are going to get complimentary tickets into Eve North. So that's another incentive for, hey, come on out.
So if I wanted to do a speech on Eve, the last year of Eve history in nullsec, like I could sign up for that?
You could, yeah.
Awesome.
Whether or not you get chosen is a different story.
The competition must be fierce because you probably have the Pope coming, right?
I have asked if he's coming. He has said yes, but he said like a 60-40. So I'm hoping, because Charles is phenomenal. I really, really like him. And then I'm hoping I can get like a NASA talk or something out of him and give me all the secrets about Mars. Love you, Charles. He'll be like, what? After he watches this later.
Yeah.
Thank you, Lohiris, for putting my email in the comment section there. And then Saturday. So once we do player panels, I do want to have, again, I don't want panels running right till 5 o'clock because people need time to eat. People need time to just go and do whatever they want. I know that Matt McDefault's probably going to want to do his version of the Bort Fort like he did last year. Shenanigans are going to happen. I know they are. And then
intriguing.
We have the Saturday night party, which I briefly touched on. Hard Rock Cafe. This club is gorgeous. It's got patio glass doors that open up, and the falls is like right there again. We are also putting out a request for DJs. So if you know anybody who's a really good DJ, send them my way. And if they want to come play the night in Niagara.
Isn't Hodor a DJ?
I don't know if I could be able to get him, or be honestly, if I could afford him.
Yeah,
for those that are expensive enough.
For those that don't know, Hodor, the actor that played Hodor in Game of Thrones, is actually a DJ. I think he DJ'd in FanFest in Reykjavik.
2017, he did his entire set. So he opened up his set, comes in, and it's like the techno version of Game of Thrones, and everybody was like, "Ah, this is great!" And then he does his entire set, and then he leaves, and then he comes back and he goes, "Oh yeah, Hodor." And then he leaves again, and everybody explodes, right? It was pretty cool. It was.
Yeah.
And again, thank you, Lohiris. You're on the ball here. We're actually going to feed you on Saturday also. Your Eve North pass also includes a lunch on Saturday.
Oh, I love
So
that.
we've got, yeah, well, you need to eat, and people don't eat because they're going from panel to panel to panel. So we're going to feed you also if you come on the Saturday only.
When you eat together, it's different. Like everybody can break off, go to their own restaurant, and some people eat alone. But when you're eating all together, it's nice because you sit at table with people you don't know, and you start to make new friends. That's an easy way to do it.
And one of the things I really liked about Vegas this year was they had a huge area where there was just tables everywhere, and people would just come in and sit down and start talking. So like I think at one table where there was like Test and Goons, and then there was some random Sixth Empire people, and just everybody was just, hey, who are you? And my name is Ivy, and and just start talking to random people because hey, this is what we're here for. So I really liked that feel. So one of the things that I did when the mayor was like, well, we can do a lunch on the Saturday, and you guys can do a lunch and learn. What are people going to want to learn about while they eat? But at the end of the day, we've got content for you guys. I'm not sure you're going to like our content. I'll be honest, but you're going to get fed, and the food's good.
They want to learn how to apply this mustard properly to the
how to eat a poutine properly.
Yeah.
So the tickets are on sale now via Seraphine. They are in Canadian currency, so they are not USD. So the early bird tickets, which like I said, they're almost gone. They are 125 Canadian, which equivalents. I can't say that word right now. Equates to approximately, I think, 95-ish USD. I think the last time I checked, it was actually like 93.50 or something stupid. But I'm just gonna say 95 for clear, concise numbers.
Mm-hmm.
And then once the early birds are gone, I believe the numbers are that the tickets are 140 Canadian, which is about 110 American.
Yeah. So this is.
And the other thing too, like again, I need to thank Lohires again because he's just spouting away in the comment section there for me.
It's a good team you got.
They're like, there's this. Keep talking. Anybody who buys an early bird ticket, we've got extra early bird swag that's going to be custom made for you. So it's one of the, hey, get your early bird ticket so you can get some cool extra Eve North stuff.
So Ivy works at Talking in Station as well. She's like our social manager, as you can see. She's the one that put together the fun stuff that we did at Eve Vegas, including a breakfast with
CCP Guard.
CCP Guard. And
I spoke to Svenny. I'm like, Svenny, what are you doing on this day? He's like, I don't know. I'm like, I've got brunch planned with this many people. Can you come? He's like, yep. So I said to Matterall, I'm like, I've got a special guest. And he's like, who? And I'm like, you're not going to know till it happens.
Yep. So that was pretty cool. And that was a big treat for TIS staff because that was mostly a staff lunch. How many people we have there?
I think we like 24 people because then, once people saw Guard, we grabbed a few extras, I think.
I think we picked up, well, a couple of people came with friends, but so it's like 24 people and Svenny and Ivy and I was at a Paris
and
buffet.
Nolan was there too, yeah.
Yeah, and it was...
I just flashed my diamond card and all the things happened.
Yeah, that's right. So she got us into that. She made those arrangements and I can tell you, I'm a reference for her. She really put it together. It was a good time, and she actually made everybody feel very welcome and worked all the details out, took all the stress out, and even brought a celebrity. So that was really cool.
Like I said, I like throwing parties. My background is I'm a trauma nurse, so I'm not even an event planner or anything, but I've got a knack for organizing and delegating people.
Unexpected events you have to take care of.
Unexpected, yeah. So I enjoy doing it. I really do. Like, and like I said in the beginning, the community is what kept me here. Like, don't get me wrong. There's days where I'm like, oh my God, I want to. But at the end of the day, I get on comms, even after like, I'll have a really shit day at work, really bad shit day at work. And I'll come home, I'll sit down, I'll throw my headset, I'll log into my TeamSpeak, talk to my guys. And within like 5 minutes, I'm just like, life is great.
Yeah. So Eve North, again, it's in a beautiful part of the North America with a natural wonder as something to look at and to be around. It's kind of a center of gravity, but then you have Eve Online and all the great people from Canada and the United States kind of meeting there. And I'm sure you're going to have international people come there too. This is a really, really cool event.
Yeah, and like for the international people, like I know I've had a couple of people reach out to me from like England area, and I don't know off the top of my head what the currency conversion rate from Canadian to pound is, or whatever their official currency is called. But I know for flight-wise, it was only like $550 Canadian, which now I'm going to Google it because I'm curious.
Yeah.
CAD to euro. Let's use euro because that's a good number. $383 in euro, or 383 euro. Like, I think that's cheap. Like, I'd spend $550 to go to England. Like, we start talking $900, $1,000, and I start rethinking what I'm doing. But that's still really cheap, and the hotels are decently priced. And again, as much as I want to pitch my hotel people, if you can get a group of space nerds together and spend $25 a night on an Airbnb, do it. They're so close to everything. Just get here.
Yeah. So again, you were just talking about the flights. Is that what that was?
Mm-hmm. From England to Canada.
From England. Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is like a few $100. I think if you wanted to go to an Eve event for a few $100 without getting sucked into the incredibly pricey Eve Vegas or the or the remoteness of Iceland or something like that, this would be a really good event for you. I think there's going to be some good stuff happening this year. Eve Vegas is a player run this year. It's not CCP run, but that'll be good for people who like that sort of thing. I think you're going to see, what's the other one?
Eve New Orleans, like Eve
New
Nola.
Orleans.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm super excited about that one.
That one, yeah.
Like Codex and Delana, they've been hyping it up, and I'm like, it's my birthday when they're holding this event. I'm like, I need to go because one, it's my birthday, and two, there's going to be space friends.
Yeah.
I'm really on board. I just need to figure out how to make it work.
Yeah, New Orleans is an amazing city.
I've never been. It's on my bucket list of places I need to go.
Yeah, having some problems lately, actually, with Hard Rock Cafe that collapsed over there, the hotel. It wasn't occupied at all. It was being built, but that was really a bummer. Plus, they got hit by a hurricane that really wiped them out. I was actually living in Toronto when that hurricane hit. And
oh, really?
And it hit so hard. It went right through the south of North America. It went through New Orleans. And 2 days later, I was sitting in Toronto watching it rain. That was actually Katrina. The leftovers of Katrina were coming through.
That's super cool.
Yeah, Toronto. So that was wild. But yeah, so New Orleans would be pretty cool too. But I think of all the things, of course, you're going to have FanFest in San Diego this year as well. But of all the places that I would want to return to or go to, I think Toronto tops that list.
I'm hoping to see you, Matterall. Not gonna lie.
Yeah. Oh, we'll see. I have a lot going on in real life, so I don't know if I'll be able to make it to anything. I'm pretty sure I'm not going to FanFest now. Boo.
Aww.
Yeah, makes me sad, but
I'll be there.
Yeah.
Oh, I will be there,
Good.
people. Yes,
Yeah.
if you want to shake my hand. I also, where is my thing here? I'm gonna have some cool Eve North swag.
Check it out.
So if you want the good stuff, come see me.
You definitely look like you could throw a party.
I can. I have already proven this.
All right, Ivy. So you told us a little bit about your background, and Eve North's coming up. Anything else you want to tell us about?
Just that I really want to see you guys there. I don't know how much more I can say that. I'm at a loss for words. I've already said how much I love the community and how much I love all you guys. I just hope that I can, hold a candle up to the craziness I threw last year. And the goal is to do bigger and better. So setting that bar higher and higher for myself.
Mm-hmm.
Challenge accepted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So for a few $100, Eve North is going to happen in Niagara Falls, one of the wonders of the world, in a really cool Canadian, I don't even know what it is. There's just it's a tiny metropolis. It's got all kinds of things to do. And you could do Eve stuff as well, which is pretty cool. This is something I would actually take a family to.
Well, and that's the other thing too. One of the complaints I had from Toronto was that, people were like, well, Toronto's not very family orientated. Everything's drinking orientated. Everything's this, which I'm not going to lie. I spent every night, we're going to do this and then we drink. And then we're going to do this and then we drink. You're going to go throw axes and then you can drink. So one of the other things looking at Niagara Falls is that's somewhere I enjoy bringing my own children to, and we go there a lot. So I wanted there to be another option for people, and even those who bring their spouses. Like, I'm setting up wine tours. Sunday's going to be more of a, okay, we're going to close things down and then let you explore Niagara or fly out or whatever you need to do on Sunday. But you can be very much sure that I will have something for you to do on Sunday too, for those that want to go do something. So again, it's not just going to be and then we drink and then we drink. It's
Yeah.
and then we're going to go challenge each other to Mario Kart and I'm going to kick your butt on the track. Let's go. Like,
Yeah.
there's going to be stuff to do.
Yeah, I think
Hi, Ron.
I think that's something that needs to be like emphasized, at least in your marketing. This is not, if you want to do
Family
50,
friendly.
yeah, family friendly. You want
And
to do
drinking.
50%. You want to do 50% Eve, 50% family. This is an excellent opportunity to do that. And if you go alone, you're going to have a bunch of Eve friends there to kind of enjoy the place. But I think the place can be enjoyed on its own, even if you were there by yourself. It's a beautiful, beautiful place with a lot of different things to do.
And if you're there alone, you come up to me and you're like, hey, Ivy, I'm here by myself. And I will find you friends because this is what I do.
That's right. Cool. Well, thanks very much for taking some time to tell us about this.
I'm just glad to be on.
Well, we'll bring you on more often. You're so relaxed in front of the camera. I can't believe it.
I was because I put my face on and I look fabulous.
Oh, well, it does. We'll have to zoom in. I don't know how to do that.
We don't want to have a recollection of the whole talking in stations fiasco, or was it After Dark? There was way too many shot. Yeah, no.
No, that's After Dark. We don't bother with that. Otherwise, it'd be messy. All right, Ivy. Really appreciate you taking some time to talk to us about it. I think that's it today. That's it for today because it's getting, well, actually, I still have some more time. We have a bunch of people in the channel with us. I'm not sure what they want to talk about.
I can answer questions if people want to ask questions.
Let's do that. I want to stay on this theme.
Q&A. Let's do it. Who's first? Come on.
By the way, the nice views are from the Canadian side, but you said the Maiden of Mist or whatever is on the American side?
Mm-hmm. So the Canadian version of it is called Hornblowers. But Tank Boy 1972, are there any barrels we can use to launch goons over the falls in? So that is a popular misconception that people think they can barrel ride over the falls. It's very highly frowned upon. The Coast Guard and authorities on both the American and Canadian side will not like you. So take that thought and poof, gone. They have a cool picture thing where you can like pose in front of a green screen like you're falling off the edge, but no barrels, sorry.
That's an awesome question.
Will there be skins? I'm not going to answer that question yet. It's for you to find out.
Oh, interesting. And support is, you're going to have some support from CCP, or encouragement at least, but we don't know to what degree what the support will be.
So, like, CCP involvement is like zero. I talk to them and say, this is what I'm doing, this is what I would like. And what they do at the end of the day is up to CCP, frankly. But like I said, we are 100% player run. Will Guard be there? I don't know. Resinex H? I think I just said your name wrong, but sorry. I may have given him an invite via Facebook, but whether or not he comes is completely up to him.
I feel you're paying some
Wait,
names
we can
wrong.
cause an international incident. Yeah, you probably could, but please don't do it at my event. Go do it at somebody else's, not mine. Are there any parties that goons are not invited to? Because that's where Oh, don't be like that, Ron. We're space
Did Ron say that?
Everybody is blue. And if Mr. Mittens wants to come to this cool party that everybody else is at, he's more than welcome. Like, we love our goons. We love everybody. Everybody's blue at Eve North.
Ron's from Legacy, so he did a little wink after that one.
Yakin! Oh, hi! Yakin, you better be at the next meet in March when I announce the dates, because I haven't seen you in forever. You need to come.
Yeah, I'll take a serious note on that question. Like, is there anything that's where the goons aren't. And the goons aren't really the problem. It's more the clickiness of any group, not just goons, but PL or Goon Swarm or Initiative, whatever. They're all very happy to show up to spend time with their mates and see and meet each other in real life. So it's usually a big celebration. But that becomes insular. And so if you're not part of that group, you're kind of left on the outside. But everybody's friendly enough, but it is kind of like, grouping up into your cliques and stuff. So. And shy people do that. They're typically the shy people are the ones doing that, I think.
Are the tunnels under the falls still open to the public? So I know there are tunnels, but I believe you have to pay to go under the falls. I will look into that one for people because I'm not 100% sure. I know there was like some private ones that people got in trouble about, but the quote unquote ones to the public, I will find out. Yeah, my mother is yelling at me in the background. She's like, "No, you have to pay to get into it. There's only one." So there's your answer, people. Thanks, Mom. Yeah, Space Mom. Cool. There is a power plant there. Yeah, I don't know what they do with Tesla or anything. I know there's like a newer power plant, and then on the Canadian side, there's like the super crazy old power plant, which I don't know if it's active or not, but it's neat to look at. Like I like taking pictures of it when I see it. Oh, lost sound on stream. What did you do, Manuel?
That was just me. I muted myself so that if I'm hitting my keyboard, you don't hear it. What I said just a second ago is I'm doctoring the picture of the falls that she gave me earlier, taking some of the mist out so you can actually see it. I'll put it up in just a second. So
that wasn't mist; it was fog.
The fog.
Yeah. Well, if you can't hear Matter, I'll talk. Sorry, guys, but you can still hear me.
No, they could hear me now when I unmute.
Just comparable to the Hoover Dam, maybe they have the ability to. I don't think they do the tours of the power plants. But again, you guys are raising good questions. So these are all things that I'll willingly look into for people and then be like, you can do this, 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 and this. We're hoping to have our website up and running sooner than later, Nolan. So once it goes live, it'll be evenorth.ca.
Reminder for folks in the U.S., if you haven't been to Niagara recently, you do need your passport. The days of using your driver's license to get to the other side of Niagara Falls probably doesn't work anymore.
I know for the Canadians used to have an enhanced driver's license for doing the border crossing. And I know while they don't let us get them anymore, they did say that they would. Oh, drats, I can't think of the word right now. But basically, long story short, that they'll honor the expiry date on those and let people go back and forth.
All right, here's the Niagara Falls from the view of the hotel.
It's so pretty.
Looks small from here. Thing is massive.
I know. You actually cleaned that picture really good. Thank you.
Hey.
You should send me a copy of that so I can steal it.
What I used to do. All right.
But what does the Eve North store /swag looking like for this year? So we do have swag. Like I said, the early birds are going to have swag. I, of course, am going to have Eve North swag also out there. We're hoping to do the charity again for sick kids because, like, the small humans, we need to help the small humans. I'm hoping I can convince CCP to send over an actual store. Like the one in Edenor last year was small and it did sell out before the end of the day on the first day. So I'm hoping with that alone, they might entertain the thought of sending another one over. Again, I'm working on all these things for you guys because I know they're things you like. But as to an Eve store, I can't comment on that. I am working on it. Whether or not it happens or not is a different story. But we do have Philippe, who was the Triglavian running around Eve North last year.
Mhm.
And that guy does like amazing, cool stuff. The things he makes are phenomenal, and like he did custom name tags for lots of people at Eve North last year. I think he did like 400 plus name tags. He was just taking orders. Who wants a name tag? Who wants a name tag? And he made them for people. And can you imagine 400 plus name tags, all different corporations, all different alliance logos? And then he was also giving people what color do you want it in. So he made me that one for Eve North last year,
Wow.
which I love it. I'm not gonna lie.
Queen of the Nerds. Nice.
No, he's making me a new one this year. It's gonna say Queen of the North because if the crown fits, you gotta wear it.
Any other questions there?
If I want to donate something for the Sick Kids auctions, who do I contact? You can contact anybody from the Eve North team. Again, you can send something directly to me at ivy@evenorth.ca, or you can send it to our general information, which is just info@evenorth.ca. I'll write it out for people. Yeah, I'm just trying to scroll through the comments here and see if I missed anything. You know, Ron wants to go live in a wormhole. Ron, you got a point. If you go to an event, it's awesome. You can just see a group of people and just go sit in the middle of them. It's lots of fun. That's the ultimate goal for me, honestly, is I got such a kick out of seeing all of the photos after Eve North of just people having a great time. So I want to see it happen again. I want people to have fun. I want, again, like I said, everybody's blue. Come and mingle. And if you want to do your side alliance corp dinners on the Friday, go nuts. Go do what you need to do. But at the end of the day, Saturday, we're gonna have a big lunch. Everybody together in one room. The food's gonna be good. Talks are gonna be good, and the party on Saturday is gonna be phenomenal. And Saturday is just gonna be dedicated to relaxed and fun.
Sounds good. And you can
The
fly.
wormholer people are invited too.
And you can fly into Buffalo or fly into Toronto, and then
There's also Hamilton. Also,
Hamilton. Oh,
Hamilton's a
that's
smaller airport, but again, it's close.
yeah. That's like 20 minutes from. Yeah, and it's an
Yeah,
easy drive, right? Because you're driving along a lake, so it's kind of beautiful.
And Nolan, thank you for pointing that out too. If people have any photos from last year, I'm trying to throw up the website and we want to have like a picture collage kind of go on. So send them to the info@evenorth.ca email. You can send a link to like a drop bucket or sorry, Dropbox. I'm thinking photo bucket, which just shows my age.
Remember that?
I know, I still have mine.
I still do
So
too. It crawls so slow. What's
I
my-
know it's horrible,
Yeah.
but you know, there's gonna be this and okay, what's this? The best part of last year was the 40-man dance circle of people from all groups just having fun with Reload and myself in the middle, dragging people into a dance. And, you know, we might have the Reloaders perform again because, you know, that was awesome last year. I don't know who you are, but that was awesome, and I had spoken.
Wild. Okay, so let's just review real quick and then wrap up. It's going to be in June.
26th to 28th.
Right, so the end of June. And it's a few $100s. It would probably take, I don't know what it would take to get you to fly there, but maybe $200, $300, I forget. To fly to this area from the United States. It's relatively cheap to stay there. Probably, do you know how much the hotels were? I forget.
So the Marriott on the Falls, we have a block rate for $249 a night, which compared to our Toronto prices from last year is about $140 cheaper.
Wow, that's kind of a lot for Toronto. Good.
It was Pride and it's summer, so therefore
Oh.
it's summer. They can jack the rates.
Yep.
There are some other hotels. Again, I like people to be able to come. So like I said, if you need an Airbnb, if you need to look at a different hotel, if you want to go to the campgrounds and drive back and forth from the campgrounds, you do you. There are lots of smaller chains and smaller ish hotels, motels close by. So even if you want to stay at like a 2 or a 3-star motel versus our hotel, like I said, just get down here.
Well, that's awesome. So for a few $100, I don't think it's that much. When it adds up, 500 to 800, whatever it is to get there, travel will be probably half of it.
Just come.
Yeah,
come.
but you'll have a great time. And this is a great area. I totally endorse this area. So again, it's going to be like 3 or 4 days, Niagara Falls on the Canadian side in the late summer, which is a nice time to be there. Sorry, midsummer. Sounds great. Eve North, when it's warm.
When it's warm. Not hot and gross, but no.
Yeah. All right, Ivy, thanks very much. This is Ivy, everyone. She works with us at Talking in Stations, but she's also known as someone from Sixth Empire. Or am I supposed to say that?
You can. I
okay.
like I said, I actively roleplay with Sex Empire. I am Pandora Singularity. First of her name, Queen of Saphazon. Get it right.
Yikes. And also maybe in your corporation as a spy. Who knows?
Who knows where I am? Like I said, my main is not Sixth Empire. I will not say where I am. I fly with everybody. Everybody is blue in my books. I love you all. I can't backstab friends, and you're all too good to me, so you're safe.
That's awesome.
Just let me build capitals. That's all I want to do.
I gotcha. All right. Thanks very much, Ivy. Super appreciate it. Good luck with Eve North. We'll keep talking about it up until it happens. So
sounds good.
Can't go to FanFest. Eve North is a really good alternative. If you can go to FanFest, you should go to Eve North 2 and check out Eve Friends while you check out Nice Part of the World.
As many of the other events you can. Like, go to Eve New Orleans, go to Eve Vegas, go to San Diego, go to FanFest. They're all fantastic. I'm giving you all shameless plugs, guys. Remember this. Go to all the events you can.
Yeah. All right. Thanks, Ivy. Really appreciate it. Thanks, everyone. That's it for today. We will talk more about war in the North and some of the fallout politically that's happening in the game tomorrow. So take care, everyone. We will see you next time. I guess we should do Le Raid. Can somebody help me find someone? Do they have a personal favorite?
No, sorry.
All right, then stay tuned. Our show is officially over, but we're going to try to give you to somebody who will entertain you further. I'm really down on Twitch because it's hard to find things. By the way, do you guys like Ivy? Should we have her on more often on Talking in Stations? Let me know.
Speak in the comments. I can come back.
There you are. You're a pro.
Ron doesn't play Eve anymore? What? When did that happen?
Not for a little bit. He's busy doing some stuff.
I just don't undock. I undock, people shoot me in the face. It's not fun anymore. A new host for... You guys are funny.
Well, I don't know who to transfer you to because I don't recognize anyone. I should, but anyway. Find your own way. We just do it as a favor for people, but whatever. Is there anything else I wanted to talk about? This Twitch. Yeah, Twitch. Do you guys like Twitch? I mean, you're all here, so I imagine you're Twitch people, but I was thinking that maybe we just stream on like YouTube or something. I don't know, just thinking about that. Give me some feedback. You know what we ought to do? We ought to touch base with our fans and not fans, our customers. I want to think of them as customers that deserve a product.
Customers. I think fans is better.
Well, fans is kind of easier and funner, but I kind of feel like the relationship between a customer and a fan is different. Like a fan is like, I could give or take, a fan. They just
winter is on.
Just okay, we'll do that, and that's just one way. But if
people are saying in comments that they like Twitch and they want Twitch. No, stay on Twitch.
All right. Well, we're gonna set up some kind of survey for people. So hang out. We're gonna transfer you all to winter, and we will see you tomorrow.
People are saying that they can't stream YouTube at work, so Twitter works better.
Oh, YouTube is better? Or we'll figure this out.
No, Twitch is better. Twitch is better.
All right. We'll figure this out. All right. Take care, guys. Bye.
Bye.